As we are celebrating towards the end of the year with festivity, why don't we make the whole year end month a little bit lighthearted and let's talk about various bodily piercings. Today, we're focusing on piercings in the nipples and whether it has complications and whether it will be beneficial for sexual stimulation. Let's start with the history. In fact, piercing in the nipple has been dated back many years. In some African nations, it was noted, and also in South American natives, it actually has been dated many centuries. But it's documented in the Bavarian time in 1500s and also later on in about Victorian era that actually becomes more prominent, actually has some indications that it might be used for erotism. And it's in the recent years, in fact, most people use it for more like fashion statement or also a statement by itself. For example, famous people who had it will be someone like Lenny Kravitz or someone like Janet Jackson, who famously had that review of nipplegate problems with Justin Timberlake. In reality, nipple piercing is something that's quite common. Essentially, it's just like any part of the bodily piercing. It can be done vertically or commonly horizontally. There are some small studies to show that that itself enhances the sexual erotism or the stimulations, especially in women. However, the studies is very small, and in fact, there are some complications that actually show the otherwise. For example, if the piercing itself is done not professionally, it might cause some infection. That infection may result in scarring, and that scarring may dampen the sensations. Some people even ask about after piercing, will somebody be able to lactate, which is a primary function of the breast? Yes is the answer. However, the lactation itself may be a little bit leaking or in different direction, might not be so easy for a poor baby who is doing the sucking, and also it is advisable to remove the actual piercing itself before mother start doing breastfeeding. In reality, just like any part of the bodily piercing, there's a small risk of infections. So in order to avoid that infection, obviously to do this in sterile technique, and hopefully if you change your mind after the removal, the skin itself might heal. However, sometimes it doesn't heal, and some people are left with a condition which is not so sightly and regret doing it in the first place. The following week, we're going to talk about another famous piercing called the Prince Albert. You need to stay tuned for next week's Putting Dr. G on the Spot.